Alright, so let's paint in some damage to this wall because remember, it's debris, it's broken, it's a junk, it's a pile of junk. So we're just going to create a new mask layer here. Let's go down to front wall here and hide the out. And we're going to make a brand new group here. And we're going to call this damage. Alright? And we're just going to use some simple brush techniques and some simple filters to get the randomness of catastrophic damage here. So I'm going to go grab my brush and I'm going to pick one of these charcoal stencils here. That'll be good. And I'm going to increase it. And I'm going to go to my concept art and I'm going to draw in this kind of crack, stress fracture we got going on here. So on my layer here, let's just go in. And the more random, the better. Don't worry, I'm going to go in and use my erase tool to define the shape of this more. Alright, so I'm going to go into erase. And I'm also going to pick another charcoal brush. Okay. That way I can define this crack that we saw coming up. Let me go back a few times. I'm just going to splotch it. Okay. And it's not about being precise. This damage is random. I'm going to go back into my brush and just work up the area. Okay. I'm going to define this a little bit better. Because I think it has like a little stress fracture that runs all the way up to the wall here. Alright, so with that damage done, I don't like these soft, feathery artifacts left behind by the damage. So I'm going to go to my unsharp mask or filter. Let's go to sharpen, unsharp mask, and I'm going to increase it by 500 and play around with the radius here. Alright, with no radius, it's feathered. Now I can just tweak it. And now we get some nice hard edges for our damage to look like it's authentic. Alright, so there's our little triangular stress crack we have here. Now we got to pay attention to our destroyed left side. Remember, our whole left side here is completely destroyed. It's been ripped and cracked and torn asunder. So we're just on the same layer. We're just going to go up here and junk the whole thing up. Maybe leave some bits of normalcy there, here and there, but for the most part, we're just going to cover up this whole side. Alright. Maybe go in here and add some interesting negative space going on. For the most part, I just want to junk it up. And here's where we're going to sell this damage being real. We're going to go down the complete. Let me go up here. I don't want to ruin that part because that's really nice. The way we got that to work. There we go. You know, maybe I can cheat a little bit. Maybe we can hide how that doesn't exactly flow. And we'll just do some damage detail down this corner edge right here. So it's not as noticeable. So now we're going to extend the damage on this side as well. We want to cover up every single edge over here. Alright, we want the damage to flow completely over the edge. Alright. And we want to extend it even over to the front left of our wall here. So I want to even have some damage spilling over to the front left of my wall. So we know the drill by now. And you just want to, I'm just going to go ahead and just fill in a black line all the way down here. So my normal maps will be guaranteed to match up. Like so. And then I'm going to come in and really mess it up. Randomize it quite a bit. You don't want to make it look like a human hand touched it. This is all natural damage. So we'll go in here. Maybe have a bit, some pieces that come over here. And this is all going to be uh, pointing inwards. We're going to have an in damage. So you know we have out mask and in mask. For all intents and purposes, this is going to be an in mask. So let's go to our filter, go to our unsharp mask, give this the same treatment. Alright. I'm even going to go in here and spice it up just a little bit more. And remember, this side right here is actually mirrored across. So if we had some nice negative space there, it'll look like a little circle that had been torn over. You don't want to, yeah. Alright. So now it's just up to us. I'm going to make another layer because I don't want to keep unsharp masking stuff I've already unsharpened. Alright. So I'm just going to add a little bit of detail here and there. And you want to be careful on the pieces that really repeat here. I don't want to add too much damage right up here because if I draw damage right here, it's going to be repeated on the other side as well. So I just kind of like to draw damage kind of down the middle where it's not as obvious that it's kind of mirrored across. So I'll show you what I mean. You know, just a little bit of damage there. You don't want to make too much of a identifiable shape. Just a little bit of damage, because we want to continue the trend that this is a damaged piece of science fiction equipment. And we'll damage up maybe some pieces right here on the utility panel. Here's another side of the wall. Remember, it was really junked up too. Let's go to our concept art. See all this black damage? I'm assuming that's kind of like carbon scoring or some kind of damage there. Remember, it's going to be repeated though, so we'll see how it looks. We'll do a test run, see how it goes. Maybe add a little bit of damage on this recess here. It's really just an organic process. It's a little too uniform for my taste. And I kind of like adding, line and movement, like, maybe there's another stress fracture coming around here. Give it some definite movement and shape. Complete this little ditty right there. Alright, cool. And here's the bottom. Add a little bit of damage. Not too much though. So let's do an unsharp mask here as well. We'll do okay. And we've sharpened up this damage so it looks hard edged. And I think these little holes are a little too uniform, so I'm going to go in and mess with those. Alright, great. So let's just go ahead and save this and do a test. And we'll just go into our model previewer and we'll just load in our test. Alright, you see how it's mirrored across there? I think I can live with that though. And there's our undestroyed side. I think I might need to go in and work on that a little bit because that kind of looks like some kind of crazy, I don't know, tie-dye hippie kind of thing. I don't know. It looks very Indian. Alright, so I have all this damage everywhere. That side is completely charred and destroyed. I was able to hide the damage there. I probably need to get rid of that kind of line. It's obviously mirrored right there. But I think I like what I see here. Alright, so I need to fix maybe here and right here. That's just too uniform. Oh. Let me zoom in. Yeah, just ununiform this damage. Right there. And then let's get rid of that damage. Remember this line of damage I had here I didn't like? We'll get rid of it. Alright, great. So let's combine these two layers. We'll call this damage. or let's call this uh, damage outline. I'll show you why in a minute. So there's damage outline. Let's duplicate it over to a whole new layer. Let's duplicate my original mask. So there's my copy. Let's hide it. I'm going to bring it down a new layer, fill it with white, combine these two layers right here. So this is what I'll be converting to my normal map. Endu doesn't like it whenever you have a transparent background. It wouldn't convert this at all because that's transparency. It needs to have a white on black kind of scheme going on. Alright, so let's just convert it. Alright, and this is what we wind up with. Let's see if we can't spice that up a little bit by tweaking the settings. Let's see what a better bevel outer does. It kind of crisply defines it a little bit, and I think we can kick up the size when we do that. Oh, too much. Maybe about 3. Let's try 5. Yeah, we really want these nice crisp hard edges there. Alright, so that's our damage. I'm good with this. Alright, so I'm going to go down to my layers. So Endu created this whole little group called normal. I'm going to collapse the group, hit Control and E to flatten it all out. Alright, and then I'm going to come here to my mask, Control left click the thumbnail for my damage mask, and then on normal I'm going to go to select, inverse selection, and delete. So all I'm left with now is this damage map we have here. Okay, and then let me go back over to my other document, my main document, and I'll scoot on down to my normal group. So when I duplicate damage outline over, it'll be in the right place. Duplicate layer, wall 001. We want our destination to be our original place. So when I go in now, I now have all this damage on my model here. Alright, but we're not done, because I guarantee when there's damaged stuff, your normal map's not going to be nice and smooth. We need to add a little bit of texture where all the damaged spots lie. So I'm going to go to cgtextures.com, and I'm going to go down to where is it? Junk. It's like a junky thing. Scrap. And I'm going to pick heaps, and I like that first one I saw. Oh, where's that heap at? Just pick one, and we're just going to add a little bit of noise and a little bit of trash to this. There we go. There's the one I like. I'm just going to download the smallest one. I'll open it up inside of, well, I'll just save it to file. Alright. So there's my preview of it. Now I'm going to go into Photoshop, and I can delete this right now. I don't need it anymore. And let's just open up what I just downloaded. Alright, so I'm going to cut and paste it into my original document. Let's go back up to my masks, and let's just cut and paste. And we're just going to overlay it on top of every black piece we can find. We don't have to worry about seams too much. I'm just going to lay it over all the damage I have. So I'm just pasting. Alright, so let's combine all these layers I just pasted in. So now I'm left with just one big scrap pile. And then we're going to control click on my damage outline and inverse the selection and press delete. So now all that's left over is the damage according to my damage outline here. See? Alright. Damage texture. And we're going to use Endo2 to convert this crazy noisy information into its own normal map. So we'll duplicate layer into its own new one, and we'll just come down here and set it up like we've been doing. We'll combine, and then we're going to do something a little different here. We're going to go down to presets right here. It's going to give us all these different kind of presets from taking photographs and turning it into normal maps. So I'm going to go to Sharp Brick and do the active document here. And it takes a second, about maybe a minute to do it. So I'm going to pause it and then convert it. So at this point, you're going to click Active Doc. I'll be right back. Alright, so the result is Endo creates this whole new document, this new tab up here. And now I have a placeholder for all this damage in here. Alright, so we have a lot of twisted metal, a lot of bumps and crevices, and you can play around with the settings and it'll give you different results. Like I'm going to take sharp angles down and take off cut off bevels. Let's see what this one does. I don't like that either. I want to get some nice sharp crisp textures. Sharpened, very sharp, big dents. I think I like the initial setting the most. There we go. That'll be good enough. Alright, so we're just going to take this very sharp brick, flatten it down, flatten it down. We'll call this damage texture. Then let's navigate back to our original document. And we'll go, let's collapse my mask group, open up my normal group, and we'll place it below damage outline. And when I bring it over, duplicate layer over, I now have my damage outline. But look, remember the overwrite happened again? Never fear. Let's see. Let me bring back my mask. I'll select my damage outline in my mask area right here. So now when I select damage texture, I'll do a select inverse. I'll delete. And now we have to kind of coalesce this. We've lost our sharp outline for our damage. So our damage outline needs to be on the outside. But the inside of our damage outline covers up our damage texture. So what we can do is we can just right control click our damage outline that we see right here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of trickery. We're going to go to select, modify, and contract, and we're going to contract it by about 5 pixels. Then we're going to select my damage outline layer, and this will allow us to delete the inside of my damage outline, and what we're left with is an outline of my damage, but the inside is deleted. And then when we activate our damage texture, we get this nice scarred metal inside quick and easy texture we have going on. Alright, cool. So let's select my mask, hide it, let's do a mask save, and let's check out Marmoset. Let's go in. I gotta reset up my diffuse texture, and now I get some wicked scarred metal over here, some wicked scarred inset damage, and yay, we got our damage on our piece now. Not too bad, huh? Pretty easy to add that nice detail. Alright, great. So that does it for this chapter. We've added our damage. In the next chapter, we're going to go in and we're going to see how we can take our normal map here and use it to convert it to a ambient occlusion map. And that will add even more believability to our diffuse texture. Alright, I'll see you then.